Hi there, it's Don here from Elite Wellness. We're going to show you a kettlebell routine here. I've been working with kettlebells for about 4 or 5 years now, and they are a great tool to use. Metabolically, it's fantastic. For fat loss, it's great. For strength, it's great. For training the hips in terms of making you hip dominant, it's good too. So I've got here, there are lots of different weights, but I've got a 12 kilogram kettlebell here, but they go right the way up. So you need to work with one that's comfortable for you. I'm going to take you through about 5 or 6 exercises just now. We're going to be working the core stabilizer muscles, the back and the posterior chain. It's using many muscles, so it's a compound exercise. We're going to do kettlebell swing, we're going to do some clean heave and jerk, we're going to do some shoulder work as well. So stay with me, we're going to work for about 15 to 20 minutes, probably about 20, and that's going to be a great routine to get the metabolic burners going. So the first one we're going to do is a double arm swing. Here's our kettlebell, both hands are going in, make sure you've got that ring, thumb and index finger closing around, so you've got a good grip, both hands inside, the feet are over the shoulder width apart. And we're going to be using the glutes, they're all around the thighs, back, and the core stabilizer muscles as well. The arms are just going to control acceleration and deceleration. We're working a hinge movement, so the hinge point is the hips, the arms will come up and we'll just be swinging. We're going to go for about 45 seconds, we maybe do 3 lots of 45. This is the double arm kettlebell swing. I'm going to show you from the side so you can see the position of the back. So from here, feet are wide, we're going to keep this bell tight to the crotch and we're going to use the hips and the glutes to do the work, not the arms. Here we go, about 45 seconds, 3, 2, 1, down, up, thrust forward, down, notice the back, breathing out as we go up. There's the breath out, there's the breath out. Look at the swinging motion, hips thrust forward, down, hips thrust forward, arms just controlling acceleration and deceleration. We're breathing out, there. Make sure you don't go too high. It's a swinging action. Tight to the crotch, tight, thrusting the hips forward, and we keep that up. You might find within 45 seconds you can do about 35. Or up to 40 if you do a minute. So we're swinging here, keeping the momentum going. Woo. Breathing out on the swing. There it is. Bending the knees slightly, straightening on the up. Swing through. Leaning back slightly on the finish, at the top there. Are we up at 45 yet? Getting there. Keep the breathing regular. And make sure you bend those knees. Place it down. That's the first set. You'll notice it's doing what's called peripheral heart training. So you'll feel the heart rate go up. That's because you're using many muscles. It's a compound exercise. So we'll have maybe a minute recovery in between each set. That's the kettlebell double arm swing. We'll show you a different position so you can see the posture from the front. We show you from the side. That's the kettlebell swing, double arm swing. Watching the clock, we're going to have that recovery time. That's going to allow us to be able to complete the next 2 sets with good form. We're always looking for good form. Bend those knees, down, and look at the distance between the feet, over shoulder width apart, so you've got plenty of room to get that bell in between the legs. Shoulders back. Make sure you've got that good grip inside. 5, 4, 3, 2, hips are swinging, and down, hips forward, thrust up, in, tight to the crotch, breathing out on the effort, arms are just controlling acceleration and deceleration, keeping the tempo regular, don't try and rush it, keep swinging, hips, tighten the bum at the top, breathe out, tighten the bum at the top, flat back, thrusting those hips forward, keeping the momentum there, keep the swing on. We're going about 45 seconds for each set, each repetition, keeping the momentum there. Watching the clock. Keep thrusting. 3, and 2, and 1, and bend those knees and drop down. Good, that's 2 down, good form. Notice the action, flat back, keep the feet firmly placed on the floor, the hips come forward, and finishes there. Tight glutes, hinge at the hips first, then drop down, then up and thrust forward. That's creating the swing. The hips are the hinge point. So we're hinging at the hips, and then hips come forward, down and back, up and forward. Now, we're going to do the single arm. We're taking away one of our components, we're just going to use the one. This is more challenging, so we're going to take the time down to just 30 seconds as opposed to 45 or a minute. You work within your own capability, so you might be able to do 30 seconds. We're going to work for 30 seconds for this single arm swing. The principle is the same, so whatever you're comfortable with, single arm kettlebell swing. Notice the position of the hand is to the side, not in the center, but off to the side. Pick up, we turn and twist to open the palm. It goes in between the legs, then we open the palm when the arm comes up. Palm facing in, open up, twist in between the legs. So we get it to go straight in between the legs, straight down the middle. Over to one side, the left hand side, we're going to turn in. Same principle, we're going to go for 30 seconds. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, down. Arm out to balance at the side, don't rest it on the hip. Arm out to the side, twist in, open up. Twist in, blow out, in, out, in, out, in. Left arm is balancing, out. Hips are working. Breathe in, out. We're going for 30 seconds. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and use those hips. Wow. And bend those knees, face down. One arm, then the other. We'll split it up 30 seconds on this side, 30 seconds on the other. You can feel that heart rate. We're doing peripheral heart training, as we mentioned, so we're doing a compound exercise. Lots of muscles working. This is why it's so good for fat loss. Left hand, we're having minute recovery. Left hand, going to go down the center. We're going to grab hold on the right hand side. Not in the center, over to the right. And twist in. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hinge at the hips, down, open up, twist in, open up, twist in between the legs, open, breathe in, out. Right arm balancing, twist, open, twist, open. 30 seconds again. Straighten, bend. Hips forward thrust. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. Good. So, that's our swinging done with. You can see it's really worked that heart rate. The heart rate may be up at maybe 170, 180 beats per minute. If you've got a heart rate monitor, you can check what your heart rate is. You'll notice it gets elevated quite quickly. It's a very powerful maneuver. So now we're going to change. We're going to do some squats in a different kind of format. We're going to use the weight as a central weight, and we're going to keep the elbows high. Again, we'll maybe do 2 or 3 sets, whatever you're comfortable with. We'll do 8 to 10 repetitions. Coaching points here. Bend the knees, lifting up. Hands either side, nestle it in the palm of the hands, in between here. So the weight is balanced in between the palms. We're in a squatting position, feet are facing forward, just over shoulder width apart. Weight's going to go through the heels, tailbone to the floor. See, the elbows are wide. Squeeze in to get tension in the chest, and we're going to do maybe 8 to 10 repetitions. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Down, press, squeeze. Press, squeeze. Hold it above the chest. Press, squeeze. Don't let that dumbbell drop down. Breathing out the effort. In, out. Tailbone to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. You can see from the side, look at the angle. Tailbone to the floor, weight through the heels. Not letting the weight drop down. Here's our recovery. Minute recovery. Here we're working the thighs and the glutes. We're also working the core stabilizer muscles. So we've got good posterior chain working here. We're working the big muscles, thighs and the glutes. We're getting a little bit of tension in the front by pressing in and holding that weight in line with the chest. So, here's the next set. We'll do it from the side so that you can see the action from the side. Squat position, holding in palms, close around, elbows wide and high. 3, 2, 1. Tailbone to the floor. Squeeze and press. Press, squeeze. Tailbone to the floor. Weight through the heels. Breathe in. Out and down and up. Take your time. Pace yourself. That's it. One more. Good job. Okay. Bend the knees. So that's 3 exercises in. I say we do 4 or 5. Depends on what you're comfortable with. Again, this little kettlebell routine, you're in and done in 20 minutes. So it's a good way of getting through a quick routine with one piece of equipment. Here, before we have dumbbells, we might have the TRX, suspension trainer, or whatever it is. But here, we've got the kettlebell. So now, we're going to do something slightly different. And we're going to do lunges. We're going to use the weight as a counterbalance. So watch this one carefully. We're going to be threading it through. I've got an 8 kilogram one or a 12 kilogram one, whatever you're comfortable with. Ladies, you might use a slightly lighter one. Work within your own degree of capability. So from here, start position, hip width apart. Keep the feet in line with the hips. Try not to step too narrow with these lunges. Step out so you open up the hip. So from here, we're going to step forward, breathe in, and down, thread it through, but have to counterbalance, don't lean, up and back. On the left, down, drop down, down, through, back, and up. See how we thread it through? We're going to go inside on the right. Inside and out. Inside and out. Try and stop any counter weight from transferring one side to the other. Start that belly button in. I've gone outside. I've just changed it. So, for inside, for outside. That gives us a little bit of variety. That's the first set. Bend those knees. We're going to do 2 sets of everything. We'll do another set just so you can see that from the different position, the side position, so you can see the position of the feet, the ankles, and the spine. 1 minute recovery. So, again, we're working the prime movers. Here we go. Start position, lunge forward. Outside, tall spine. Outside, tall spine. Try not to lean forward or back. Out, in, outside, in. Outside, in. Let's go for the inside. Inside, out. Out. Inside, out. Inside, drop that back knee, and out. Inside, and out. And there you have the lunge with the kettlebell. In those knees. Okay, we're into the last one now. Now this is a little bit technical, but I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. It's a clean, heave and jerk. Sometimes people use an Olympic bar, which is 2 weights on the outside of a big bar, and they'll use it to pick up from the floor. They'll clean, heave it up, and they'll twist around, bend down, and extend. And down, hinge of the hips, and down. This is the clean and heave, and the jerk, jerking it up using the hips. So, we're going to use one, so we're going to do both sides, left and right. You could use 2 kettlebells. I'll demonstrate that in just a moment. Let's, for safety's sake, say we're just going to use one to begin with. Here we go, bend the knees. Palms facing in. We're going to do a corkscrew movement around the wrist. And we're going to drop down to get that clean and heave on. So watch carefully. We swing forward slightly and twist down. Up. Drive up with the hips and with the thighs and the glutes. Shimmy down slightly. Breathe in and up. Extend up. Straight line down there. This is strong. Make sure the hip is directly under the shoulders. And down. And all the way down. Let's try the other side. Again, palm facing in. We're going to do a corkscrew movement to get it onto the back of the wrist. If you have a watch on, you might want to take it off, because it will jam on the watch. So from here, corkscrew movement, in, down, up, palm facing in, squat down and cross. Lock it out, make sure straight line down the side of the body from the hip, the shoulder, the arm, and hold. Down, resting on the shoulder, twist and round. Let's transfer over. We're going to do a few more. Shift down, down, up, down. Lock out, down, and around. Corkscrew around the wrist. Here, swing away from the body, corkscrew around to the back of the wrist, and get the hips down underneath the weight. Down, the clean and heave. Here's the thrust up. Hold, strong body position, shoulder directly over the hip. Hold, hang down. Corkscrew, down. Woo! So, there we have 20-minute kettlebell routine. There's one more that you can add if you've got a little bit of time. I'm going to show you one more. Here it is, elbows are wide, shoulder press, but with a squat. Again, looking through the center, resting in the palms of the hands, squeeze in, squat down, and above the head. Triangle, lock out. In, down. Blow out, suck that belly button tight there. In. This is the last one. In. Breathe in. Out on the extension. In. Up and tall. In. Weight through the heels. Tailbone to the floor. Up, lock out. 2 more. In. Breathe in. Out. And lock it out. And there you have your 20-minute kettlebell routine. You warm up and you cool down after that. Maybe about 45 seconds for each set, but that'll keep you in trim. Hope you get on well with that, and we'll see you again next time.